Hello and welcome to another edition of the Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts. I'm Joe McLaughlin, and he's JP's first son, Tim Owen.
Light them up, Tim.
We have another great show for you.
Light it up.
Boys.
Spark it up.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. The professor's not here, boys, so any
voice of reason.
Night.
Yeah.
The voice of reason is missing.
Off the rails.
Yeah.
All right, we start with the Boston Red Sox. Look, they went on a 10-game road trip. Nationals, Yankees, Astros, two tough teams. I mean, the Yankees are considered a tough team still. They went 6-4. I know that may not be what we need at this point, but still 6-4 road trip. It's pretty good.
Little spark of hope. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. For the first time all year, my interest has been piqued.
Yeah, they scored 17 runs today, Timmy. That's the old time Red Sox, right, Joe?
Yeah, that's the way we like to watch our games. Out of the park early and often. I think Verdugo started the game with a home run, and they just continued.
Yeah, and always good to beat the shit out of the Astros, Timmy.
Oh yeah, I mean those Astros, they're always good, man. Whatever they're doing down there, they're doing something right. They're just always good.
And that was a good pitcher. That rookie was something. He had like a 2.75 ERA coming into this game. Yeah, and they tattooed him.
It went up 3/4 of a run. Do you realize? And I did not realize this. I don't know when they started this. So whatever team, I know this is true. I'm not making this up because how can I make it up? No. Whatever team wins the rookie of the year, has the player that wins the rookie of the year gets a compensatory pick.
Yep.
The end of the first round.
Well, that's why we want Massa, but a lot of people aren't going to vote for him because he's like a 10-year veteran.
No, they won't let that. He won't be eligible for that. So we need Casas to win it.
I don't think Casas isn't eligible.
No, either. He is. He is eligible. He's eligible. So yeah, he can win it. So that would be a nice thing, right? Getting
I thought Casas played too many games last year.
He did not. No, he did not. He's definitely eligible. So that would be nice. But in the competition, this guy would have been, obviously, this drops this kid down. You give up 10 in one game, people looking, and look, to pick up a first-round pick, it's huge.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a weird. I don't really understand. Joe, do you understand that? Why they did that?
No, I was confused when I first heard that, and I tried Googling it, and there was nothing on the internet about it. I couldn't understand it that you got the team that had the rookie of the year also got a compensatory pick. I couldn't find out whether it's a first round, a third round.
No, it's first round. Joe, Timmy,
wait, explain. I missed something. Explain that to me.
So if your player on your team, say if Casas wins the rookie of the year, at the end of the first round, the Red Sox would get an extra first round pick.
How in hell does that happen?
It's strange. I mean, should the Cy Young Award winner get one too, or the MVP?
I have who would have ever thought that rule up, and for what reason?
I'm gonna just throw a guess here. I may be wrong, but in the new CBA, they were trying to encourage teams to play these guys so they'd be as a rookie, so they would be eligible, not screwing around with their arbitration years and stuff. I think it has something to do with that.
Yeah,
I think that would make sense because they're all walking that line, right? Trying to grab that extra year of control, right?
I think that's where it derives from, but I don't quote me on that. But it is weird, guys. Yeah. It's just bizarre, but just another thing that we love to root for, those kind of side things that, are happening in sports. Look, Abreu comes up in the last few days with Duran going on the DL, and Abreu is coming up with big hype from the Vasquez deal last year that everybody panned except this. The Grandstanders did pan, and we were happy to see Vasquez go. What kind of player is Abreu? Can he be a starter?
He's got He's got a beautiful swing.
Doesn't he? Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
beautiful.
I hate to say this, it definitely makes Verdugo, Joe, expendable if they think Abreu can play an outfield position.
Or and definitely Duval and Duran too. You can
No, they're not going to
because
get.
we've got money committed to Yoshida.
Duval's gone after this year. They're not re-signing. He just for 1 year rental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got Rafaela coming up.
Yeah.
Also a center fielder. So you might like Rafaela in center and Abreu in right. I've yet to see his arm, what kind of arm he has, but he has better range than either Duran or Duval for sure in center.
Now, are we saying Duval is definitely gone? I mean,
oh yeah, he was
I would assume
so.
He served his purpose.
Yeah, he's an old guy. He's been around for quite a while.
I mean, when he's here, he seems to do pretty good when he's playing.
Yeah, but they got these prospects coming up. There's really no need for him, and it's not like they got like 8 DHs. So it's not. There's nowhere to slip him in. I mean, and he's not your fourth outfielder because you have Refschneider.
Yeah, he's a corner outfielder. We got plenty of them right now.
Yeah,
it probably at a lot cheaper too.
But he ended up. I know he got hurt, but to me, he ended up being a good signing.
Oh yeah. But he had 2 walk-offs that were great back at the beginning of the year and last night.
Yeah. It was only 10 million. So that one worked out, and Kluber was an utter disaster. And then, of course, so it does even out. Chaim Bloom has to be given credit for guys like Abreu and Pablo Reyes. Yeah. He has to be. And the Bernardinos of the world.
Wait, did he? So we got Abreu through which trade?
All right, so we traded Vasquez before the deadline last year to the Astros. We got Abreu and we got Valdez. Joe, if you remember, Valdez was
hold your breath every time a ball is hit the second.
Cannot play second base, and if you can't play second base, you can't.
There's no place in the majors unless you're a big poppy like hit can play DH. No, he couldn't either.
Yeah. Timmy, you still there? You frozen. Timmy's frozen.
Yeah, but he was.
So
Valdez, couldn't turn the double play.
I'm here.
Everything was out of sync with him at second base. Of course, Kike at short was lighting the world on fire. It was just a bad combination they had going back then.
Yeah, but another good deal, huh? You got to give credit. Chaim, look, everybody just highlights the failures, and there are definitely plenty of those, but there's a lot of successes too.
Yeah, we got to wait and see, though. On Abreu, how's he going to get major league pitching? They don't have a book on him yet. Maybe in 2 weeks from now, all of a sudden he'll go in 0 for 30. You've seen it a million times.
Go ahead, Timmy. Oh, Timmy's frozen still.
Yeah, that is.
Timmy, you want to get off and come back on?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, how am I back?
Yeah, we see you. Your bandwidth is low.
It's a bad, it's a bad connection. You want to take it inside?
Any better?
No, it still says your bandwidth is low.
I can move a little bit.
All right.
Okay. To get a little closer to the router.
Joe, I like you're saying that, Joe. Let's get they might realize he can't hit an inside curveball.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does a little bit, right?
That's
a very good analogy.
There's a lot of intrigue.
And this is the perfect time of year. They're really not in it. They got to pass 3 teams. They're 4 games behind them. So this is the time to try these kids out. See if they've got the stuff.
Are we only 2.5 games out of the last wild card?
3.5.
No.
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems like it's doable.
You got it.
No, because they got to pass 3 teams.
Yeah.
It's not just one team. It's Seattle, Houston, and Toronto. They got to beat out all those teams. They can't.
I think there's a 12% chance, Timmy, just to show you how it's not doable. Look, they go 6-4 the last 10 games.
And don't pick up anything.
And no, they lost, I think, a half game or one game. So yeah.
Seattle's been hot.
You would have to go. I mean, you'd have to have at least an 8-9 game winning streak. You'd have to do that.
To put yourself back, and that would only probably put you back in the mix.
Yeah, but that would
it wouldn't put you in the lead.
Probably not. No, it wouldn't. No, these guys,
because all of those teams are playing well for the most part.
And a lot of them have easy teams to play against, and the Kansas City Royals really stink now. They've completely given up, and then they start putting in some young guys, and
But they take 2 out of 3 from the Sox.
Yeah, well, that's really. When we look back at the season, I would look back at the 2 out of 3 we lost to the A's.
To Oakland.
2 out of 3 we just lost to the Nationals.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't do that. You got to sweep at least one of those teams.
Because I don't know how it affects his eligibility. Would you ever bring Marcelo Mayo up for a few games?
No, they won't, because
these might as well be extra.
I think he's injured right now anyways, Tim, and he was only hitting 200 at AA.
Yeah.
Not it's not the time.
Yeah, I think you might see Nick York, though. I think you might.
Yeah, the September call-up, I can see
or
that.
No, maybe just a couple of days at the end.
What's the rules on the September call-ups now? You can't have the big call-up.
So we're currently working with a 26-man roster. You only add 2.
So, Scotty, you were just saying, let's give Bloom some credit. We're not going to make the playoffs. We are the Boston Red Sox who charge more than anybody in Major League Baseball to attend a baseball game. How can we give him? He might have some individual wins, okay? But in the big picture, he's a failure.
No, that's not true. I can just keep on naming all the players that he acquired over this year that have contributed to the team, from Yoshida to Turner to Bernardino to Kenley Jansen to Chris Martin. These guys all just came.
But all it gets you is like a 4th place team. So
you have to move. I mean, you can't. That's not how this works. Can't go from one, the bottom to the top. You just can't.
They went from 5th to 4th.
They're making great progress. The team has definitely made great progress. I mean, if you guys can't see it now, come on. The team has changed its stripe completely. They took out a lot of dead wood. He's made some bad moves. The minor league system hasn't been this strong in years. Yeah, right. We're not going to win a World Series this year, but maybe next year.
You see, Scotty,
springs eternal with Scotty.
My opinion is very different. I believe that this team, with the finances that are generated, should always be in the top 5 in money spending. Should always be, always.
Well, there's one caveat there, Tim. The number 1 and number 2 teams this year are the Mets and the Yankees.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And both of them, I know the Yankees are in last place behind the Red Sox, and the Mets have been awful too.
Joe, but I give them credit.
For trying.
But I give them credit for trying.
Okay, the Red Sox are
trying, right? Okay. They put their money where their mouth was, right?
Okay, well, let's see what they do this year. I'm not just.
Oh yeah, he's got to go out and buy some, get some starting pitching, and he'll have to pay for at least one of them.
Well, they acquired Yoshida. They paid over $100 million. It's not like they didn't pay anything.
Yeah.
Wait. Do you think he's going to change his stripes this year? He's a middle market guy.
No, he's not a middle market guy. I mean, he's look.
He's going to grow.
Look, all the guys the big money guys, other than Cole, the last 4 or 5 years have generally not worked out. But the fact is, his free agent signing, Kenley Jansen and Chris Martin and Yoshida, were A+. I mean, so he did. He went out and spent some big bucks on these guys. He spent over close to $200 million on these 3 guys. It's not like they didn't pay any money. And these guys were
Yeah, the only really big market move he's ever made was signing Paxton, knowing he wasn't going to.
no Story. Obviously, Story gave him 150 million bucks. I mean, you know,
Yeah, but that
Scotty,
was John Henry saying, how come you're not doing anything? Get
Yeah,
out there and buy someone.
Story was the only body left on the pile to pick off of. He was like in a garage deal when you get there at 4 in the
I know, but
afternoon.
Jimmy, those
And
other
he's
guys,
far from it. You think he's an all-star or anything? He's a below average player
well, what do you?
at
Who,
that
Scotty,
position.
who are you
Story,
going to?
Story, Scotty,
But
Story
there's
was
a
the
lot
guy.
more good, better shortstops in the American League than there are worse than.
Scotty, everybody was gone. Story was the only one left. He had to sign somebody. Story
Okay,
was the
but look
only
at the
one
guys that
left.
signed. Look at the Machados of the world. They haven't played well.
But they
Oh,
had
the
been.
Padres have been terrible. But all we got to do is look at Mookie Betts.
Well, that
If
has nothing. That's all on Henry. That has
If,
nothing to do with.
if Ohtani wasn't there, he's the best player in baseball.
That has nothing to do with Bloom. He was thrown out under the bus there. He just comes to the job and he has to trade.
Scotty,
That was on Henry.
He took a picture with you. He put his arm around you. I don't know what his other hand was. I don't know what his other hand was doing in that picture. I don't know. We'll never know. And
we'll never know.
Yeah, you're right, Tim. Things have gone from night to day in that.
Scotty, you're sitting there saying our guy, we're not going to make the playoffs. We came in last place last year. Did we come in last place the year before?
Yes, I think.
No, the year before we
And
were in
fourth place this year.
Yes, what are you talking about?
We had a crazy run to the. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, we did get the last second to last wild card.
Kiki Hernandez looked like Babe Ruth for 3 weeks, and that's the only reason we made it to as far as we went.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I don't know if Kiki made a deal with the devil or something. But Scotty, how can you be happy with this guy in any way?
Because I just named off all the acquisitions of these guys.
Well, Scotty, in 2018, you will agree the greatest team the Red Sox ever assembled, right?
Of course, I know. I but I'm not.
And since then, Heim takes over.
No,
But
but
that was had a sniff since then.
That was no. Dombrowski got fired in September of 19. Okay, and then Henry.
The COVID year, we would give him a pass on.
COVID was a joke. Actually, COVID worked out very well because we got the fourth pick in the draft, and that's how we got there.
Yeah.
So he's drafted very well the last few years. That's unquestionable. He's traded very well on the margins. The Pavettas of the world.
Have any of his draft picks come up yet?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. But he has
maybe a pitcher or something.
Look, Mookie Betts. Are we putting Mookie Betts? We can't put Mookie Betts on Heim, Timmy. We can't do that.
All right, but don't you remember all the Rule 5 screw-ups he made and all the screw-ups he made during the offseason?
I know,
but they didn't turn out to hurt them, as it turned out. Everyone got rid of them.
That was just us Red Sox fans having nothing better to do and worried about Rule 5. Ultimately,
I'm gonna have Todd pull the tapes, Scotty. Okay.
No, listen. Can I just tell you the Rule 5? It's Todd. Yeah, he's in the witness protection program, so we better not find him. Oh my God! All of a sudden now, Handsome Todd just seems like 50 years ago.
Yeah. Well, he's busy. He's organizing a large organization right now. He's going to.
Yeah, right.
He's the straw that stirs the drink down there in New York.
He played such a role in Rogers.
I thought we needed a moment of levity right there for a second.
Well, how many? I mean, I just watched Hard Knocks to see Todd. That's all.
Wouldn't that be something if he was in there?
Him and his gal walking the silence. Him in like a plaid
Crystal
coat or something.
Crystal.
With the pipe in his mouth, right? Walking the sidelines.
Smoking jacket, right? Exactly. Yeah, but no, he gets rid of Crystal from Margot Robbie or something.
Yeah. Driving the Dodge with the handsome T plate.
No Crystal, no Jets. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's give Heim. Last week we talked about Alex Cora and everybody gave him pretty high grades.
All right. All right,
Let's give
Scotty,
Heim a grade.
is it a 1 year leash now? What's the deal?
That's a great question. I would say he's been extended a year, that he's not getting fired. Would you agree?
Oh, he's not getting fired.
He's
I
not getting
can't.
fired. So he gets another year.
Yeah, I
Heim's
think
more
he's
likely
following
to
his
be
marching
fired than
orders.
him.
What's that?
I think he's I don't know if I should be mad at Heim. I should be mad at you. He's following his marching orders. Be middle of the pack in payroll. Build a bunch of controllable prospects. Those are his marching orders.
Well, look,
And that's what he's doing.
Look, it's pretty clear that we will not be happy with Heim or Henry if they don't at least sign one top starter in the free agent.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. We'd
Like-
like to,
like
but
a
you got to
big-
have at least one.
A big prance him out there on opening day. Oh my God, I can't
An
believe this
ace.
guy's
An ace.
starter.
Yeah.
Not another fourth starter, a guy with 20
Blake
years
Snell.
that used to be good.
Blake Snell,
Yeah.
he fits the mode.
Who's on the market? Who's on the market this year? Who's available?
Blake Snell is the main guy, I think.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
not a lot,
given
not a lot, Tim, but you have to make do with what's available, you know?
whoever they got to get the top guy out there this year.
And then
They
get
have
the
to.
Asian guy. Either get the Asian guy or get Blake Snell.
From what I read,
Hey,
though, the Asian guy's getting a lot of, interest around the league. It's
Well, of
not
course
just
he
the
is.
rest of
I
the
know, but-
Yankees, and it's the big money teams, the Yankees, the Dodgers. It's not the schlubs looking for a
Yeah, I mean,
bargain.
everybody, that's how it works with we just
Yeah.
have to give them more.
Well, that would be.
I mean, that's how
We should be in that conversation. We should have a lot of money because
Yeah.
we should have the most money because we don't have any big guys, right?
And Tim,
No, right.
and the posting fee doesn't come off the salary cap either.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, you gotta go. If you have to go 150 million plus, go for it.
Yeah. Hey,
You
speaking
gotta-
of Asian guys, how about Otani? Is he going to need Tommy John?
Yeah, that's a sad story. Let's go to Otani. That's a terrible story. He has a UCL tear, and usually that's Tommy John. We saw this coming, guys. In the last few weeks, you could tell that he was having some injuries and having some problems.
Yeah, he left a couple games early.
Yeah, cramping up and stuff. There's just too much wear and tear on the body to do what he's doing.
What a terrible time for it to happen, though, where he's going to be a free agent at the end of this year. Now, someone would have to, if he has Tommy John, someone's eaten a year to get him.
Remember, he is the bet. No. Well, he's going to play now. It's not like he's not going to play. He's the best hitter in baseball.
Yeah. Well, Mookie.
What? Oh, thanks, Joe. I don't even think of Mookie. I mean, Timmy, how much is he worth? How much did he lose with this injury?
All right. So the way I looked at him, you were buying the best pitcher in the league, whatever that's worth, the best hitter in the league, whatever that's worth. So you double that up, and then
the biggest attraction. And the biggest attraction.
Maybe you take so you double you add both of those salaries together, and maybe you take 20% off, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking at $60 million, and you might take I'd say somewhere between 55 million a year for 10 years.
So does this
But he's
change
worth
it?
so much more to other teams. I mean, in Fenway, what are you going to get at best? Another 1,000 people into the seats. Now, Yankee Stadium, you get an extra 10,000 people coming to those games. He's worth a lot more money to other teams, I think.
Well, yeah. Also, it's going to help the ratings, Joe, so much.
I agree.
Yes, I mean that's where the big bucks will come and all the sponsorships and stuff. Does this help the Red Sox in acquiring Otani or hurt?
Well, if you're looking for the Sox to be relevant next year, and we had plans of signing him, I would say it hurts
Because we wanted him to pitch, right?
Oh, yeah.
we want to be.
We wanted the
we want to be
twofer.
relevant.
Yeah.
Now,
wanted the
if
number
he has
one
a Tommy
starter.
John, if he has a Tommy John surgery, could he hit
No.
while he was recovering from that?
No, yeah, that's a great question. I don't think so. No, I
No.
don't think he would be able to.
When you're in
It would be
a sling and a cast, after the
basically
surgery,
on the shelf for a year.
It's no, that's
year and a half. It's almost a year and a half. That's why they got to get it as soon as it happens.
Well, that's it, because remember, Story just had the same kind of thing, but he picked like the lesser of surgeries as far as, but he had,
He was a shoulder rather than an elbow.
but I don't understand if he can play right now with the tear, with the injury, why couldn't he play once he had surgery? You know what I mean?
Well, I assume it's because it's immobilized while it heals, and then you rehab it when you get to a certain point. When it's healed, then you rehab it.
But I put him under the knife right now.
Is Ohtani going to
Exactly.
Is Ohtani going to keep batting at this point?
Yes, at least that's what the plan is, right?
Yeah, he can do it. But if he has the surgery, both positions are out.
Well, the Angels are out of it, so I don't know.
Well, if the Angels, if the Angels aren't planning on signing him, they might as well keep putting him in the lineup, right?
Well, I mean, no,
maybe they are
planning
planning to
sign him, so they're going to do what he wants to. Well, first of all, he can do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah,
and if he has a tear, he's going to go get surgery.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, this is baseball. If he wants to have the surgery, the Angels' hands are tied. They got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's his body, so it's clear he has a tear.
They can't say, "Oh no, you got to play injured." It doesn't work.
I think it hurts him dramatically. I think. It shows the teams that ultimately he's probably not going to be a pitcher 3 to 5 years from now. Would you agree?
Yeah, he's not immortal.
Timmy, would you agree that this probably the pitching thing is?
Yeah, it really
time limit.
It threw me for a loop, because this guy is like to me he's like Superman, and you hate to see Superman get exposed to kryptonite,
Yeah, but
and he got exposed to kryptonite. This kind of it brings him down a notch.
So this poses the question, because we haven't seen it since Babe Ruth. Can someone really do this over a long period of time?
And Babe Ruth didn't do it. He stopped when he went to the Yankees. He only played the outfield.
Yeah, so
first base.
You can't. I don't think he can do it, and the wear and tear with physically, and then he throws it that hard, and then stays in the game when he's taken out.
I know that's
they
the
literally
best
changed the rule. If you remember, they changed the rule that would allow him to stay in the game. It was the Ohtani rule, so he never gets a break. He's a big kid. He doesn't, they get hurt, but it's sad for baseball.
So Scotty, what do you see as his future the next 5 years?
I think he's ultimately may. I don't know. No, I don't think he's a pitcher in 5 years from now.
How about the next 3 years?
Probably not. I think it's just too physically taxing. What do you think, Joe?
I don't think he's pitching next year. If he's not pitching now, he won't pitch next year. The future all depends on if he has surgery or not. A lot of times these guys elect not to have the surgery. They want to see if it'll heal itself. And sometimes it does, but it's not likely.
To me, it's not like
his future could very well just be as a batter going forward.
Hey, he's a 50 home run type hitter. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, he's the biggest name in sports almost right now.
It's too bad. He was the best thing to happen in baseball in like 20 years.
Now with that injury, let's say you put him in left field, is he still able to make a hard throw home?
Well, after he has surgery, yeah, he should be fine.
But I mean, if he doesn't, if he just elects to let this heal,
like right now, can he make the throws from the outfield now where he can't pitch anymore? Is his arm shot?
But it doesn't matter.
Is he like
out of it.
Story was last year with only half an arm?
They're out of it. It doesn't matter.
No, but I mean next year, Scotty, if he doesn't have the surgery.
Oh, he's going to have the surgery. There's no question. He's going to have it. Of course he is. I mean, it builds up his value.
So what do you think? He doesn't get paid next year?
No, he's a free agent. You're gonna have to just
Right. If
Someone,
no one gives him a contract next year to sit
Joe,
on their own.
seriously, no one gives him a. Are you kidding, Joe? Joe,
Well, I'm just wondering, what are you going to pay to someone who's not going to play? He's not going to
Well,
play.
you're going to
The
pay him a
season's
shitload of
gone.
money. You're going to try to get Ohtani on your team.
And with the really
we've
nebulous
seen-
future too, as far as the pitching is concerned, I don't think he's getting 50 anymore.
We've seen guys drafted in football who they knew couldn't play the next year.
Yeah,
We've seen guys signed to contracts who they knew couldn't play. Didn't we have somebody who we knew? Was there someone recently?
That's a great point. No, in the NBA, Embiid was out for the year.
Yeah.
They did that with
but that was pretty cheap because he was the #1 draft pick, so it was a slotted salary. It was no way. What do they get? Like $5 million a year? Nothing like.
All right. So the question is, Timmy, we'll start with you, Timmy. He's getting signed to an incredible contract? Somebody's taking account, like Joe said, he's going to be out a year. What would you sign Ohtani for, and for how long?
$45 million a year, 10 years.
$450 million, which would be the
in 5 years that'll look like a discount, probably.
But that would be the highest contract in the history of Major League Baseball.
Yes.
So it's not like you're getting some kind of discount.
Well, and the thing is, you're guaranteed not to get one of those years.
Yeah.
And you might not get what you want in the last 5 or 6 years, as far as you're only getting half the player.
Yeah. So that is
Xander signed a 12-year contract. I mean,
right? It could be a Xander Bogaerts type. I would say caveat emptor on that one.
All right, Joe, what do you got? Timmy
like I said, buyer beware on that. I would offer him something like $350 for 10.
Okay. And Joe and Timmy, you have $450 for 10?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Scotty will split it down the middle.
No, I think Timmy nailed it, because when you take into account that first year is void and you're not going to get anything, you're still putting him over the 50 million mark. But you're not, but you're trying to get a little discount with the idea that had he been a top pitcher and hitter, you'd be up to around 60.
Yeah, he would have got 50 if this hadn't happened. And he'd made it to the end of the year. He would have got the 50. No ifs, ands, and buts.
Okay, do we want the Red Sox to do it?
Yes.
I'm on record as saying let the buyer beware on this right now.
You do not want the Red Sox to sign him. You'd rather
not for that kind of money. I don't think so. I think it even though, like Tim says, the last 5 years were a bargain, but he might not be a bargain then.
Timmy,
how old is he?
Oh, great question. How old is Ohtani? I don't know. I have to look that up. I think he's 28?
Yeah. Late 20s.
Big guys, those big guys hold their power.
Usually.
29.
I'm fine with that.
He's 29. All right, so he's better. Yeah, so he just turned 29 in July.
So the first say 4 years he's in his prime, but you're missing at least one of those years. You're not going to get one of those years.
But you have
those 4 years in his prime, you're not getting them.
Red Sox have Ohtani. They look. He's going to guarantee you probably one World Series victory.
Oh, you'd love to have him as a pitcher. He's your ace. He's the guy you throw in the first game of the series. He's the guy you throw in the wild card game. He's the guy, Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine guys opening the first game of the World Series and we go to the game to see Ohtani pitch for the Boston Red Sox? Do you really? I mean,
I can't see that, so I'm off it.
I don't care. You know me.
Yeah.
John Henry,
Well,
spend it.
it's not our, indirectly it is, but it's really not our money. John Henry can afford it.
Yeah. So he can. I don't have a problem. Timmy, do you have a problem with increasing our Section 30 seats for $3 a ticket for Otani?
They got to do it. They're gonna do it anyway, Scotty.
Yeah, you're right, Tim. You're right.
They're already charging more than they should. They're already the highest prices in the league. Why should they have to increase it? And they're 17th in payroll.
All right. If they finish fourth instead of last and beat the Yankees, which it's looking like they'll do, Sam Kennedy going to increase those tickets prices?
I'm sure he will.
You think?
Inflation. Everything costs more now.
Look, he had the balls to do it last year when terrible.
When they're he's done it a couple of times when they finished last, right?
Yeah.
Well, all the money that they have to borrow from the banks, the interest rates have tripled since a few years ago. Everything costs more now.
The banks borrow money from them.
Yeah.
That's what John Henry does for a living. He funds banks.
Red Sox have been printing money since we were all kids. Always.
Yeah.
Always. Look, it's when the Red Sox beat the Yankees, all of us middle-aged guys were so happy. Come on, we're just,
Judge had to hit 3 home runs for them to win one game out of the last 11.
There's nothing like the Red Sox. It's just nothing like it. When the Red Sox are doing well, and it's so much fun. And I
those
think
Yankees are awful. They make your pitching staff look like world beaters.
awful, and they've spent so much money. Oh my God! And some of those
Second only to the Mets.
like
They're a little ahead of the Dodgers, I believe.
Rodon is just a complete utter fail. That's why buyer beware and those lefties. All right, we go to the New England Patriots, the final exhibition game, and I'm so glad to see the kid Bolden is fine and okay, but that was a scary moment. They're all scary moments, and
I never got the full picture. Was he knocked unconscious? What was?
He got a concussion. He got knocked unconscious.
Yeah, and then they were just being precautious.
They were being overly cautious, given the circumstances of today's day and age and the way things are reported in the media.
Is this going to become the norm?
I hope not, because we all know that there's a concussion on just about every play, reported or not.
So I think the question you're asking to me, is it going to be the norm if they cut someone out? Is the game over?
Everyone quits. Yeah.
That's a great question. I don't know. That is, the NFL is not going to be very happy with that.
I mean, Zolak said, he could visibly see him moving his hands and his feet, right? I mean, it's one thing if a guy's, his heart stops or something like that, or he's paralyzed. I get that. You know what I mean? But like Joe said, we see this every other game.
Well, this was a smart opportunity. This was a good opportunity for Belichick to really show that he's got the players' backs by doing this. And I think he's probably a little tired. They had practiced with the Packers all week. It was kind of lots of fights and stuff. He's thinking 11 minutes left. I want to go inside, get myself a steak and a beer. Let's wrap this puppy up.
But he would have wanted to continue with the Titans practices, I think.
Yeah, I think at that moment he said, "I've seen enough of the Packers. It's time to go."
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to do the Titans thing. I would think he was looking for an out to get out of that because they were staying on the road. He didn't want to stay. They were going to be on the road for 2 weeks.
And wasn't Slater, though, lobbying for everyone to walk off?
Was he?
Yes. And he got right in there with the 2 coaches. So, I mean, it's hard for the coaches to take a look at him, the leader of the players, and say, "Oh, fuck you." They got to kind of bend to the players, especially in an exhibition game.
Hey, I know this is crazy.
It's an exhibition game, but it's on television, and people attended the game. I thought it was kind of.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of
But
odd.
most
I've never seen.
importantly,
Have we ever
what
What
do
if
they
this
do?
happens in the first quarter? All the people who paid, they're going to say, we want our money back. The NFL isn't famous for refunding money. That's for sure.
Well, how about the gamblers?
Yeah.
There's millions of dollars was bet on that game. Did they pay off? What did they
I
do?
don't know. What if you had the over?
Yeah, what did they do on that? I wonder. Did you hear anything?
I don't know. I don't. I wouldn't bet like exhibition football with a gun on my head.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth.
Yeah. I think to me they're going to be more hesitant to do this because if you remember correctly, with the Hamlin situation for the Bills, they never played that game.
Yeah, that was never replayed.
That was never replayed.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to happen. I mean, but I understand on the players' side, of course, they're very upset.
Yeah.
I mean,
There, but for the grace of God, go I. On the next play.
yeah, but we've seen different things. If you remember, the football games never were postponed by weather or which they do now.
Except lightning.
Lightning's the only thing they do it for.
But they
Snow, forget about it. Fog, they play it.
Cold.
Yeah.
Anything.
So they're gonna have to maybe have an extra week in the season where just an empty week. We're kind of a makeup week where if we have whatever we have games to make up, maybe I don't know. It's a difficult situation. All right, let's go to the team.
Wait, I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I think eventually the NFL is going to go away because of the serious injuries. I think the science and all these brain injuries, I can't see it continuing on forever because of the damage that these guys take. I don't know.
Well, that's why they've legislated the kickoff return out of the game now, or they've tried to. That you just fair catch it and go out to the 25.
Well, they're going to have to do something with the helmet.
My Ryan could have played college football, and I'm glad he didn't because the beating these guys take is just their brains are mush by the end. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
Can you imagine being hit by Keon White? Can you just imagine? So
Keon 400 pounds of fury.
It's Keon White, and we love him, and we know he's going to be a star. That kid, but for the next 10 years, for 16 plus weeks a year, he's going to be hitting people, and a lot of those people are going to get seriously injured. He's a freak of nature.
Who takes the worst beating? The guy that has to practice against him 5 days a week.
Yeah, well, you got to remember those offensive tackles are a lot bigger than him too. A lot.
In hockey, you forget this. I practiced against my teammates more than I played against other teams.
Yeah,
there was some big bruises that I had to face every day in practice. My life was hell.
No, you're right. Exactly. All right, some interesting stories as far as who makes the team, and we love our 53rd guy, Butte, little Butte. Does Butte make the team, wide receiver? Joe?
Geez, all indications I say says yes, and it's good. That's going to be the most interesting cut there because Douglas, Butte, a lot of guys.
Well, Douglas, it looks like he's a lock.
And Willis, those 3 receivers. Do they find room for any of those?
Who's
3
Willis?
or all 3?
Who's Willis?
The quarterback there.
Oh, Malik Cunningham.
I'm thinking of the guy, the other quarterback in front of him.
Yeah, I think Cunningham gets cut. I think Cunningham is probably the one who gets cut.
Do you really?
Yeah.
He's dangerous cut because where he plays 2 positions, someone would grab him for the 53rd man just for the scout team,
Yeah.
I don't know. I see him as a guy who's dangerous with the ball in his hands. That's my opinion. I think I could find a home for him somewhere. I think he's a weapon.
No, I just
Bill
think
Belichick kept 4 quarterbacks when he wanted to keep Tom Brady back in the day.
I think it's a
He
numbers
can
game.
find a way to keep 3. They'll get rid of McSorley. McSorley's heading back he'll be a student intern at Alabama.
Yeah, no, I look, there's no way I think all right, I'm gonna ask a question. Timmy, would they like to cut Thornton, but they can't because he's a second round pick?
Bingo.
That's a great question, Scotty. I mean, has he proven that he can't do it? That he's too fragile? I mean, I don't know.
Well, they
the
still
guy
have to
can
pay him, and you know how that sticks in their
The
craw.
guy can absolutely fly, right? I mean, I saw him make that one good catch in the preseason game.
But now he's injured again.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
they're gonna.
But that's his body of work for one good catch.
I know.
They'll probably IR him
I
and
know.
just wait till next year.
I don't know. I don't
think
know.
Yeah, because they got
How
to pay him
serious is the
anyways,
injury?
Tim. So if he's on IR, it's no sweat off their ass
So
because they have to pay him anyways.
How serious is the injury?
I don't know. I think he just doesn't.
Wasn't
have
it his shoulder?
Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't
Those
it
can
last year
linger, I
his
guess.
shoulder too? I just don't think he has an NFL body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a terrible fit.
185 pounds. It's just not enough.
Probably they IR him with a designation to return.
Especially if you're running down the field and laying out for balls, you're gonna get hurt every time. Every time you lay out for a ball.
Douglas makes the team though. Butte, do you see any surprise cuts now that we're less than a week away? We're 5 days away from all the cuts. It's one cut now. Timmy.
I don't know the roster good enough, Scotty, to tell you the truth.
All right, Joseph.
How about Riley Reef?
Oh,
They've already moved from right tackle to right guard. He's been playing right guard. And they've got a bunch of interesting, young interior linemen. They drafted 3 last year. So maybe he's the one to go.
I think Lawrence Guy goes. I think they got some young guys in Roberts and some other guys, and they didn't like him bitching and moaning about his contract. And he's just been literally another guy.
Yeah, but geez, that Roberts. I mean, he's dumb as a stump. If you see the couple of just outrageous errors he made in that last game.
Yeah, but I think they would rather have him, and then Lawrence Guy. Are you gonna miss him?
No, he doesn't seem to hold the point of attack at all.
Yeah,
anymore.
What's the deal with Folk? Could we have a surprise? Could Ryland get cut?
I think they'll go with the younger kids. The new punter looks like he's a lock. And I think you go with age and go with the younger, cheaper guy.
Yeah.
How much, if you let him go, someone else picks him up and has him for the next 10 to 15 years. So they don't want that to happen.
Timmy.
It's like the teams ever keep 2 kickers, one guy to kick off, another guy to kick the field goals.
They used to have to for Folk, but now it doesn't matter.
But now they don't. They're not going to do that. They have too many guys. When you have a crappy team, you could do that. But when you can't fill spots,
was that a wasted pick then?
It looks like they wasted possibly the whole 4th round because Jake Andrews. They would love to cut him too. Apparently, he's shown absolutely nothing.
And he was supposed to be the best punter in college, right?
No. We're talking about
the punter's a lock. He's going to be.
Punter's a lock. We're talking about the field goal kick was a 4th round pick, and this Jake Andrews, who's supposed to be the next center.
The center.
And he's been terrible. And what they say, the moment you see him in pads, as Kevin Booth taught us, and they saw Jake Andrews in pads, and they're like, we
300 pounds of mush.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be. It's very interesting, Joe. How long ago did they start only having one cut down?
2 years ago, I believe.
Okay.
I don't like it. I used to like the old go to like 75 to 68, 65, and then down to 53. It was kind of a logical progression you could see, and you could see the roster building. You could kind of tell how many wideouts they were keeping, how many interior offensive linemen. You kind of got a picture of how they built the team. Now it's just going to be, here it is, voila.
Joe, why did they do that?
I think it's to open up the process. Now all sorts of free guys are free agents on the market for guys, bad teams can snap up some pretty good people. There's going to be, say, 40 times 32 guys. That's a lot of guys. That's 1,000 guys available. And if you've had a good scouting report on someone, you just snap them right up.
So was that something that the players wanted in the CBA?
Yeah,
they agreed to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it benefits the players. It benefits the players more than the teams, right?
Yeah.
I mean, more than the owners.
Yeah.
No, nothing ever benefits
Because it gives
the players over the owners. No.
Well,
the players are always behind the eight
football
ball.
players, they didn't have, but it seems like it gives the cast-offs more of a chance to lock onto somebody.
Well, you have to build a practice squad anyways, right? So, I mean, people are going to be competing, so guys might get more money. If if 2 or 3 teams are competing for the same guy, his agent can hold out for a few more bucks,
Yeah.
Even if you're just going to be a practice squad guy, you can be a well-paid practice squad guy.
We're gonna have to see Miles Bryant get his ass burned this season too. Is he gonna make the team?
As of right now, I would say yes.
What about Jack Jones?
He's injured right now. He says he'll be ready for the first.
That's
game.
Jonathan Jones. Jack Jones.
Jack Jones too.
He's injured?
Yeah, but he's saying he'll be ready for the first game. There might not be a first game for Jack. It all depends on we're not privy to his legal situation, but I think that weighs heavily on whether Jack is still on the team or not.
Yeah, if Jack's neck and neck with somebody, it's not good for Jack.
Yeah.
Look,
because what if they lug him in the middle of the season?
He's a talented guy, though, right?
But we can all agree if Jack Jones didn't play for the Patriots and he did what he did, that Jack Jones would currently be in prison.
Yeah.
And he
wouldn't be playing in the NFL. Most teams would have cut him instantly.
And he would be in jail right now, waiting.
Well, I'm sure he probably would have made bail. 3rd round draft pick makes a good buck.
No. He's just Jack Jones' guy.
No, I think Scotty, I think that bases on the socioeconomic scale. If he wasn't, if he was a wealthy guy, he wouldn't be in jail. If he was a poor guy, he'd be in jail.
Yeah. Well, still,
that's the way it works in America.
Yes.
Let's just see if he gets around those mandatory sentences, then I'll need to look up the definition of mandatory.
Bob Kraft can hire some good lawyers. Good lawyers.
Yeah. I have no idea how any way in the world he doesn't go to jail. I just can't.
I agree.
But 2.5 years mandatory. I don't know how he gets around that. I mean, I don't know what are you rooting for in this case? Do you just want Jack?
I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's just a stupid guy. I don't think he had any. I don't think he had any malintent, bad intent.
I don't know. I don't. I'm not sure that.
Would you ever stupid doing something like that, robbing Panda Expresses and things like that?
They take out your freaking toothpaste out of your luggage, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're paying too long. God, I mean,
well, look,
what are you thinking, buddy?
Look, don't carry around a loaded gun unless you're not ready to use it. Look, would you want to have been on that flight?
Oh, of course not.
Okay, well there you go.
He wasn't. He wasn't gonna start shooting.
How do you know he held up a Chinese restaurant?
No way,
Timmy.
He did hold up the The
Timmy,
Panda Express.
he held up a Chinese restaurant. You know that, right?
He was hungry. Who hasn't considered holding up a panda? Who hasn't thought about holding up a panda?
I want Timmy as my judge.
Great point. Well, I have that.
I just can't. What's going
We've
through his
all
head?
done something wrong, but most of us got away with it.
loaded guns in my. I'm gonna bring 2 loaded guns in my luggage.
And with the extensions
fuck
too.
is he thinking?
With the extensions.
God, my goodness.
I mean, he literally did everything wrong that you could.
I have just got terrible Wi-Fi.
All right, we go to the.
Well, no one advised him to put loaded guns in his luggage and then try to get on a flight. No one in the world advised him that.
He's just an idiot.
He did that himself.
My Wi-Fi is terrible, guys. I apologize.
That's all right.
I just can't imagine. I just can't imagine when he's packing his luggage. You know, like, oh, I'll put my 2 guns in my duffel bag. I mean,
Look,
It's not an international flight. They'll never check.
the only way he's getting out of it is if he's like paying off a buddy to say it was his, that he packed them and that Jack Jones didn't know and it was his guns. That's the only way he's going to get out of this.
And he gets put in front of a very lenient judge, no jury, and the judge gives him like community service for the mandatory sentence.
Oh no, what they're going to have to try to do is they're going to have to pay off the DA with some big envelopes and some 50-yard seats for a long time, and they're going to drop the charges. They're just going to drop charges and just give him a misdemeanor, right?
So the only way out is he says someone packed his luggage, right? But they ask you, did anyone pack your luggage?
Yeah.
That's one of the questions.
Even then, it doesn't wash. You carried it on. It's your fault.
And allegedly, the bag he had had Jay Jones or something. Like it was clearly his bag because they asked him, "Is that your bag?" And he said, "Yeah, it's my bag."
Oh, you mean the bag with the 2 guns in it? Yeah, that's mine.
All right, go to the Celtics. Celtics are in the market. Brad wants to fill the roster. He brought some guys in, who's got NBA experience, especially TJ Warren. The guys he's trying to get, one guy, I asked the question, is it possible these guys could be playoff rotational guys?
No.
Is there room? I mean, who are you going to bump?
They've got 2 empty spaces on the end of the bench, Tim, right now. But
Yeah.
I think at least one of them, they're going to fill them for now. But they have that mid-level exception and they're going to bypass the trade deadline. And then when it gets to contracts being bought out, then they might want to use that mid-level exception to entice someone that just got bought out to come to them. And that could be like a 7th or 8th guy in a rotation in the playoffs. A former superstar that just got bought out that might have a little in the tank to give you 10, 15 minutes.
I think Brad has proven that he's very good at going and getting the kind of guy that Joe just talked about. He seems to play that game very well, getting guys, like legit guys here, that you didn't think we could get. He gets.
Pat Riley's been doing it for years, and now it's time for Brad to get in on the action.
Is Blake Griffin going to be back on the team?
I hope so.
Me too.
Yeah,
we all like him.
Yeah. Give me the rotational 8 right now. Tatum, Brown, Derek White,
Porzingis, Al,
Al,
top 5. Rob Williams, first guy, maybe he's not number 6, but that would be Brogdon's number 6. Al's Rob's number 7.
Who's 8?
Do you think who's the guard, the white guard there?
Pritchard.
Do Do you think they try to get him more into the action this year?
Yeah.
They're gonna have to because they don't have a choice.
So is Pritchard your eighth?
Yeah, why not? That he can take that shooting guard spot that Marcus used to just sit over in the corner on offense,
But he's such a
and he'd give
liability.
you a little action,
Such a liability in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Boy, they went after him.
They
like,
were heat-seeking missiles after him.
Oh, like great whites after a lame seal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when we have guys on the opposing team during the playoffs that are the Peyton Pritchards of the world, all we want that ball is to find them every time, right?
Yep.
All right, finish up with the Bruins. Timmy, give me some updates. They signed some. Would they signed another kid? Wait, Timmy. Okay.
I never realized he was such a liability on defense to that one pick. I'm in and out here, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, are we still talking
There's
about
going to be so many new faces. There's no Hall, there's no Bertuzzi,
we're
there's
talking
no
about the-
Berge, there's no Krejci, there's no Hathaway, there's no Orlov. I mean, lots of faces from last year are going to be gone. We're going to see a lot of new people.
Yeah, it's gonna be a new team. Yeah, new team. The stability is in the goalies,
Yeah.
right?
Good point.
I still think there's enough talent on this team, though. But my big question is, how are they going to use Lucic? I mean, is he just going to go out and get in a fight once a game? I mean, what's his job now?
He's by game 7. He's gonna be greeting everybody who walks in, just shaking everybody's hand.
That was just a crazy signing.
No, he's totally like he was gonna be like Johnny Busick role. He's gonna be at all the charitable events. He's not gonna play more than 15, 20 games.
You think so?
Oh, no, I think he will. Like Tim said, the designated goon.
Yeah, but they're not gonna throw him out there every night, Joe.
What's he, 37, 36 years old now?
Yeah. And when I was watching him last year when we played him, he was slow. Dinosaur slow. I mean, he was slow.
Yeah, and this game is not getting slower, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
It's as fast as it's faster, and it gets faster every year.
Look, the Bruins fans will turn on him in 2 seconds if all of a sudden, he can't play.
Not if he wins a fight.
Because, look at Timmy. See, Timmy, are you still going to do this? You'd rather win a fight than a game?
A Gordie Howe hat trick is always a good thing.
Why not win the game and the fight?
Yes.
Would you rather win the fight or the game?
The game.
The game.
Oh, this is big for Timmy. Oh my God.
But if you can't win the game, win the fight.
I want to win the game and go down fighting,
I think the Bruins are going to have trouble in the third period this year. Last year in the regular season, they owned the third period.
Scotty, the fight is like a lovely sauce on the meat. You know what I mean?
Who says Lucic is? We assume that Lucic is gonna win fights. He's an old.
You have to catch up with the person to fight him.
He's gonna get the crap kicked out of him.
He stopped fighting his last 2 years with the Bruins.
Yeah, he's gonna get the crap kicked out of him.
He wasn't even fighting his last couple of years with the Bruins.
This is gonna be pathetic. He's not. All right. Will Lucic make the whole season?
No, there's no way. I can't even see. That's like he's ready for senior hockey. I mean,
but you got to remember, Tim. Half the team is going to be new. Half the team is going to be new. You got to, assuage the season's ticket holders. They don't want to see 10 rookies out there. They want to see someone they know too.
Well,
Lucic fits that bill.
I could see Lucic being brought in for a leadership role. He bled black and gold, right? under Bruins in the dictionary was a picture of Milan Lucic when he was in his prime. You know, he was what everyone in this city loved in a hockey player. So maybe they want him to instill some of that into these newer guys.
Well, we'll see. But he's not going to last this season. That's it.
But I do like the point Tim's making. Yeah, teach these guys how to play the game, the right way.
Yeah. Well, I think Bergeron's going to be around somehow. He's going to be in some role. They're going to keep him around in some role. I don't know what it is. An ambassador. I don't know what they're going to. But Bergeron around. He'll be around enough to put his mark on the team. Don't you think?
I don't know if he wants to be Johnny Pesky.
Now, do you think? I wonder. Does Krejci move back to Czechoslovakia, or does he stay in America?
No, I think
no, because he said the only team he'll play for is Team Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, he's there.
I know his wife and family here like it here. They do not like Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
So maybe during the season he'll go there and then come back here.
Yeah. All right, we got to go, boys. That's our show for tonight. I want to thank the fellas. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune in again next Thursday night at 7 o'clock for another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night.